Alright, so currently the 0.6 update is on the PTE, and let me tell you, it is a good one. I know, Tact, stop saying that, it's annoying, we get it, you say that every week. Well, you know what I have to say to that? Get out of here with that negativity, because this is absolutely by far my favorite update to the game, and let me tell you why. First and foremost, this is the smoothest and most bug-free update I've played in the game ever. The frame rate smooth, the stuttering gone. Even on my 2010 processor, this thing does really well. If you thought 0.5 was good in terms of optimization, this one is 5 times better than that. Now, like I said, it's currently only on the PTE, but I'm really wanting this to be pushed over to the live servers, ASAP as possible.
Well, just tell them to call me ASAP as possible. Thanks.
Performance is the best thing about this update, and honestly, it has made it so hard to go back on the 0.5 live servers. I didn't realize how much the 0.5 update actually stuttered until I tasted the sweet deliciousness of the 0.6 patch. Now devs, I know you know how to do your job and such, and you make the calls, but whatever you did in the 0.6 patch needs to be carried over to the live servers now. I know 0.6 isn't supposed to be on for a while yet, but with how smooth it runs, I almost can't even play 0.5 anymore. Like I said, you do you guys are the boss, but if a player decides to come back to the game tomorrow after taking months off, he'll be much more likely to stay after playing the 0.6 flow. Okay, enough of the peasant's opinion. Let's move on to other goods on the PTE with 0.6. 2 really great quality additions. 1, a new communication menu that is a radial style instead of just button mashing. This is really nice for flow, even though I really never use them. Next is even better, the spotting. Check this out. Look at that sweet red square. Remind you of another game? Correct! Ring of Elysium. Okay, also Apex. But regardless, I really like it. All you've got to do is double tap X. You can still spot enemies using this way, you just have to be a little bit more accurate with your button mashing. It really just helps give some direction to, oh, an enemy's behind this cover, an enemy's behind this cover, instead of just spotting enemies and see them walking back and forth behind cover. Seems a little bit unrealistic. Alright, on to more spicy goods. New guns. 2 of them to be exact. The M4 and the SA-80. First, let's take a look at the M4. Now, there is another variant to the M4 that you've probably already used because it was one of the very first assault rifles you could use. Previously called the G38, the M416 is very similar to the newly added M4. The name will likely change again, by the way. I saw the devs are renaming a bunch of their guns, so just don't get them confused for now, I guess. The M4 is now my weapon of choice. The standard M4 is a little bit lighter than the M416, and compared to the M416, the fire rate has been increased, though damage has been slightly lowered. The spread is slightly higher on the M4, but the recoil isn't as severe. Regardless, both are just very similar. Just use whatever you want. Both have single, burst, and automatic fire rates. Here's the video so you can compare the two as well. Next is the SA-80. This was actually what the weekly update was about this past week. Just some history on it, and if you're a gun nut or a history buff, go ahead and read that. I'll link that down below. Reading is hard, I know, but it's still pretty cool, and someone took the time to research and write this update, so enjoy it. As for you, thanks for taking the time to research and write, gun designer guy. You're doing a great job. Anyways, it's another assault rifle that has occasionally been used as more of an LMG from what I've seen in previous games, and if you like the bullpup design, you'll probably like this. While the recoil may be a little bit more difficult to control, the damage is pretty good on it. Oddly enough, I've noticed people from the EU prefer the SA-80 and people from the US prefer the M4. Maybe some nationalistic bias? I don't know, just a generalization from the 3 PC gamers total that I know. So don't tell me if I'm wrong, because I really don't care. Alright, here's how it looks to shoot this puppy. Alright, onto the vehicles. Now, I talked about the attack heli drone in my last video. It's a lot of battle points to purchase right now, and honestly, it needs nerfed. it's infinite at this point. It needs to either have decreased health, have a time limit, or limited ammo. Something. And you can't really shoot it down easily like last week's update mentioned, so we've been bamboozled. It is, however, pretty difficult to maneuver, so it's not the easiest to get kills with. And also I don't speed read really well, so the only way I know how to drive this thing is going back to my recordings and trying to learn the controls that way. It's got a lot of different options when it comes to attachments and drops. The base battle point cost of this heli is 2,500 points, but the more you add, the higher the cost. 50 cal rockets, other rockets, bombs, aid, thermal vision, whatever you want, it's kind of your choice, but it may cost you. For me and my aim, I'm better off with explosives, so bombs away.
UAV is ready for deployment.
Next is the Ajax. This vehicle is another little tank-like vehicle, and because of the British flag, I'm going to assume this tank is used by the Brits. Here's where you can find that. And here's what it looks like with its head ripped off. The way you use this thing is you earn 4,200 battle points, you call it in, and then boom, you start gunning people down with it. Pretty standard for a tank. They've also added a mobile spawn point to the Warzone maps. Now, while this can be effective, you can also spawn on any one of your squad mates, which is also a nice addition, but I think it kind of also renders the squad leader pretty useless other than to farm points. But you can still place this in a good flank position and hope to rack up those frags. If you're on the opposing team to one of these puppies, it's a pretty resilient vehicle. Try to aim at the head of this beast and fire away. It takes about 5 to 6 RPG rockets depending on the type and about 10-30 round magazines or so. Just remember, teamwork. As a final note, you can no longer take a position while you're in a vehicle during Warzone. You've got to be out of the vehicle before the capping happens. So all you've got to do is take the mobile spawn point to somewhere like B2 and you can swarm the position. Alright guys, that's about it for this one. Rumor has it tomorrow, the new map Polyarny drops on 0.6.1, as well as a completely fixed hit registry with the bullets. Just a rumor, but stay sharp tomorrow or Tuesday. Alright guys, that pretty much wraps up this week's video. Feel free to subscribe for some more dirty deets to this game, as well as some other vids that are coming up kind of about my life and about my PC adventures. So here's a little bit of a sneak peek on that. Also, you can follow me on Twitch, just TactiGamer4. I'll link that down below. I'm about 39 away from the affiliate, so feel free to help a brother out, as well as be able to see some of the gameplay and how the game progresses if you're still on the edge about it. Oh, and follow me on the tweeters. I just got one of those. I'll link that down below as well, TactiGamer, for some updates, some sarcasm, some other gaming news, but mostly sarcasm. Again, thanks to those that have subscribed. I'm sitting around 118, which it's only been a few months, so I feel pretty good about myself. I would love to hit that 1,000 mark before my little baby boy is born in August, so feel free to help a brother out with that too. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your week. Take care.